Hi, I'm Ms. Natalie. I'm a kindergarten teacher with a mission to empower you to confidently navigate your child's education. This is part 2 of this video series. Part 1 was about what the types of schools are. And part 2 today is about if you have decided that you want to research and find out what there is beyond your child's assigned public school. I will walk you through what to look for and maybe what not to look for. So I get asked this a lot. I've been out at bars on the weekend, met people that are parents, and they want to know, what type of school does my kid need to go to? It concerns me because I see people asking, do I need to blow my budget and rent or buy a home in a really expensive neighborhood we can't afford? Asking me, how do they even know if a school is good? So I want to just maybe debunk some things and help you search through what you can look for and what you can have control over. Okay. Right. So that sounds real nice. Kindergarten teachers really know how to sugarcoat things and add just that special spin so that you feel calm and soothed. Let's get real on this. People need to calm down about choosing the right school. If you are starting the school search and your child is under the age of 4, I think you can calm down a little bit. What really matters is that you are valuing education at home. So if you're putting it in, you're gonna get it back. You don't need to find some miracle-making school. This is not a movie. They're not gonna remember a lot of it until they're of a certain age. No matter where they go, you're gonna have things that you love, you're gonna have things that you don't like. So what I really need you to do is take a little bit of a breath and realize that if you are doing the work at home or caring about school, daycares or camps or preschools or library read aloud programs, just doing those things that get your child to use their brain from a young age, they're gonna be fine. Parents sometimes like to compete with each other in this school hunt. You don't need to compete with anybody. Trust me, every year, I can usually tell within the first couple months which parents are the ones that are super involved, and I know that I'm gonna get follow through when I ask them to do something. Which kids are the ones in class that are gonna need that extra bit of love from me. All those kids get what they need. You've got this. Don't worry so much. If you do want to research beyond your assigned public school, watch this video. I will show you what you can look for. But if you are searching for another school because you are caught up in panic, I think you need to turn this video off and maybe take a beat and think about what you are actually searching for in a school versus what is rumors and horror stories that people have told you. All right, Miss Natalie. Take it away. Before I really get into it, this question is difficult to answer because asking about school choice is really tangled with privilege and systematic racism in our country. Historically, a lot of public school lines have been drawn to include and exclude specific populations. There is a long history of certain zip codes getting different service from their schools than other zip codes. So I really want to encourage you as you're searching to make sure, to really make sure that you're searching for the right reasons and you are trying to find a school based on the education that it is offering and not just get caught up in the population of the school. It is really, really easy to think because a specific population is highly represented at a school that it is, for some reason, la creme de la creme of schools. This is on my mind a lot. And so as I talk, if I say something that you have more questions on, I would love to hear from you. But if I also say something that doesn't sit right with you or something that I need to reflect on more, please reach out to me. The best way to contact me is through a DM on my Instagram. I know if you have been searching for schools, you have probably encountered these school rating websites. These sites. I do not like these sites. I really want to warn you about these sites that provide arbitrary ratings about schools like greatschools.org. You might have encountered these in your Google searches, or if you've been looking for homes on Zillow, and they just tell you the local school is a 7 out of 10 or a 2 out of 10. These ratings are not fair to schools. They're treating schools like they're small businesses, and schools are not businesses and do not reflect the environment, the teachers, and the special programs that are put forward to the student population. They start first by getting ratings based on the state test scores of the population of students. There is endless data on state tests that show racial background, school history, education of the parents, family income, can predict a child's path before they even enter 3rd grade. I don't think it is fair to necessarily judge based on test scores when we can see that the tests sometimes are playing into a system that is not fair to begin with. But what makes the difference for your child is the commitment of family to education. If you are putting in the work, it will come back to you. If you are seeing the school has a low rating, that does not necessarily mean that your child's going to get a poor education. It's a lot different than a health score rating at a restaurant. I really wish that they would remove these from Zillow and other realtor websites, because I think they're causing this panic. I can't help but wonder if it also is impacting housing costs, which again just makes this less fair for people and contributes to this history of systematic racism in public schools. In short, I would not buy a house or rent a house just for the school or based on the school ratings. If you're curious about the history of public education in the United States and what I've been talking about, there's a great podcast called Nice White Parents. It was done by the New York Times. Another website, which I mentioned in part 1 of this video series, is the National Center for Education Statistics. You can look up any school in the United States, public or private, and you can find out things like the population of the school, how many children per grade. You can figure out the diversity of the school as well. And that is the very first thing that you should look for when you are searching for a school, is diversity. If you're gonna go out of your way to go out of your zip code to another school, why not make sure that your child is exposed to all sorts of different types of people? The next thing that you really want to consider is your lifestyle. You need to think about your schedule, look at the location and the bell schedule of the school. If the school starts really early in the morning, that can impact you. If the school is letting out at the same time as your other child's school, that can impact you too. The next thing you want to look at is any special programs or extracurriculars being offered by the school. But sometimes the PTA might fund a Spanish program. There might be something experimental by the district going on there that you want to get in on. I, for example, work at a school that runs a soccer program after school. The parents love it because they don't have to drive their kid anywhere. They just know that their teacher will walk them to the soccer field when the bell rings. After you look at extracurriculars in the school, you need to look at the extracurriculars nearby too. If you are all in on a specific sport, you might want to see if there's a school nearby the karate studio so that you don't spend your entire life in the car. After that, a great thing to look at is the school's PTA. Now, the PTA will often have a different website than the actual school, and that can give you a really good idea of what the PTA is like and how it functions. Now, not all schools have PTAs and not all schools have a strong PTA. That does not mean that this is a poor choice of school. The PTA takes a lot of commitment and extra time on parents to organize and run. So it might just mean that there is nobody that has that kind of time to keep that force moving, and that's okay. If you know that being a part of a community, making friends, and all those extra things that you can get from the community are important, the PTA is going to be a good indicator of what is going on with the school. Once you have taken a look at those things and you see that this is a candidate for you, you should ask about going on a tour of the school. You should inquire early on this, a year or 6 months out. Most schools do not have a consistent touring schedule. I would say at best they'll do tours once a month, and at worst tours once a year. If you are valuing education at home, your child will be able to season all types of schools. They'll be able to make it through years where they have their favorite teachers. They'll be able to make it through years where the teacher doesn't match with them well. They'll be able to make it through the hard subjects, the easy subjects, because if they are coming home to an environment where school is valued and important, they will hopefully be able to find the fortitude that it takes to make it through those years. It doesn't have to be as scary of an issue if they have supportive families at home. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe below and follow me on Instagram. Make sure to leave a comment. Let me know what questions you have in finding a school, and let me know how your school journey is going. My name is Natalie, and this is Primary Focus.